don't look as tired as you feel. From the outside, your life might seem fine. You get up, you go where you're supposed to go, you answer messages, you smile when you're expected to. But inside, there's this heaviness that doesn't go away. A kind of mental jet lag, like your mind is 3 steps behind your life all the time. You're not falling apart, you're just worn down. Worn down by expectations, by comparison, by the quiet fear that you should be further along than you are. You scroll past other people's achievements and feel that same invisible pressure in your chest. That question again, what's wrong with me? Why can't I keep up? If that's you, this video isn't here to tell you to hustle harder, wake up earlier, or push through the pain. This is for the part of you that's tired of trying so hard. Today, we're going to visit something older than your to-do list, older than your invisible deadlines. We're going to look at 10 ancient lessons for tired minds, ideas that have been quietly comforting humans for thousands of years. Not as inspirational quotes to scroll past, but as gentle corrections to the stories you tell yourself when you're exhausted and think you're behind. Let's begin. Lesson 1. You're not late, you're in season. From Ecclesiastes and many ancient traditions, ancient writers often came back to one simple idea. To everything there is a season. The seed is not behind the tree. The winter is not failing because it isn't summer yet. It's just a different part of the same cycle. Modern psychology has a phrase for the opposite belief: temporal self-discrepancy. It's the painful gap between where you are and where you think you should be by now. When that gap feels huge, your brain interprets it as danger. You feel late, defective, like you missed the exit. Ancient wisdom quietly disagrees. It says you're not out of time, you're out of alignment with time. Your expectations are on a different calendar than your life. Emotional relief comes when you realize you are not a machine that missed a production deadline. You are a living thing. Living things grow in seasons, not schedules. Lesson 2. Rest is not a reward, it is part of the work. From the Sabbath, Stoics, Ayurveda, and more. Ancient cultures built rest into the structure of life. Days of rest, Sabbaths, festivals, sacred pauses. They assume something we constantly forget. If you never stop, you break. Today, many people see rest as something you earn only after you've done enough. Psychology calls this contingent self-worth. Your worth is tied to productivity. If you're unproductive, you feel guilty resting, even though you're exhausted. Ancient wisdom treats rest differently. Rest is not what you get when you've proven yourself. Rest is what allows you to stay yourself. When you allow rest as a baseline human need, not a trophy, your nervous system can finally downshift. Your brain moves out of constant low-grade threat, and suddenly thinking, deciding, and caring becomes easier. You're not lazy, you're overloaded. Lesson 3. Not every thought is a truth. From Buddhist mindfulness and Stoic philosophy. For thousands of years, people have been told, you are not your thoughts. The mind produces thoughts like the lungs produce air, constantly, automatically, often without your consent. Modern cognitive psychology discovered the same thing and named it cognitive fusion. It's what happens when you believe every thought your mind generates, especially the harsh ones. I'm behind. I'm not good enough. It's too late for me. Ancient practices like meditation and Stoic reflection taught people to watch thoughts without immediately obeying them. The emotional relief here is subtle but powerful. You can feel something strongly and still not treat it as a fact. You can meet the thought, I'm failing at life, with a quiet response. You're just a thought. You are allowed to be here, but you don't get to be the judge. Lesson 4. Small daily steps matter more than grand intentions. From Confucianism, Aristotle, everyday wisdom across cultures. Ancient teachers rarely praised dramatic overnight transformations. They talked about habits, rituals, repetition. Confucius said, in essence, that a person becomes virtuous by practicing small acts over and over. Aristotle argued we are what we repeatedly do. Modern behavioural science agrees. The brain's motivation system is wired to respond to small, clear actions, not huge abstract goals. When you feel behind, your mind demands a giant leap. Change everything. Fix it all. Catch up at once. That demand is so heavy that you freeze. Ancient wisdom lowers the bar. One step, one small act of care, one task, one honest conversation. Emotional relief comes when you realise you don't have to transform your entire life tonight. You just need to tilt it by a few degrees and keep tilting. Lesson 5. Comparison is a distortion, not a map. From ancient parables, religious texts, and early communities, humans have always compared themselves to others. But for most of history, that comparison happened in groups of maybe a few dozen people. Your village, your neighbours, your extended family. Today your brain is comparing itself to thousands of people at once, mostly in curated highlight form. Psychologists call this upward social comparison, the habit of only looking at those who appear above you. It reliably lowers mood, self-esteem, and motivation. Ancient stories warned against envy and comparison, not because they were morally bad, but because they were misleading. You never see the whole of someone's life, only a fragment, only a moment. The emotional relief, the feeling that you're behind everyone, is not based on reality. It's based on what your mind has been fed. You're comparing your full, unedited life to other people's carefully chosen moments. That's not a fair race. It's not even the same game. Lesson 6. Your worth is not the same as your role. From many religious teachings, Stoicism, indigenous wisdom. Ancient cultures often separated a person's role from their worth. You could lose a job, a status, a title, and still be considered inherently valuable as a human, a soul, a child of something bigger. In modern life, identity and role often collapse into each other. What do you do becomes who are you? When your role is unstable, your identity feels unstable. No promotion yet, no relationship, no clear path. The brain quietly translates that into I am less. Psychology describes this as identity foreclosure or role engulfment. Your sense of self is over-attached to one external label. Ancient perspectives offer a different baseline. You have worth before you accomplish anything. From that place, work, relationships, and goals become expressions of who you are, not proofs that you deserve to exist. Relief comes when you loosen that tight knot between my path is unclear and I am failing as a person. Those are not the same statements. Lesson 7. Suffering is a shared human experience, not your personal defect. From Buddhism's first noble truth, early Christian writing, Sufi poetry, and more. Ancient teachers started, not with you should be happy, but with life includes suffering. Not as a punishment, not as evidence that you did something wrong, but as part of being alive. Modern psychology calls this common humanity, the understanding that your pain is not uniquely yours. When you believe everyone else is gliding through life while you struggle, your suffering doubles. First from the pain itself, then from the belief, only I am this weak. Ancient wisdom says, no, this is the shared ground. Every mind knows fear, regret, doubt, grief, exhaustion. The details differ, the feeling doesn't. The relief here is quiet but profound. Your tiredness is not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're human, living with a nervous system that was never designed for this much pressure and this much visibility. Lesson 8. Uncertainty is where real life actually happens. From Taoism, mystic traditions, and philosophical skepticism, the Tao Te Ching speaks of the uncarved block, the potential in things not yet defined. Many ancient texts suggest that certainty is often an illusion, and that wisdom lives in the ability to move through not knowing. Today, uncertainty is often experienced as failure. You don't know your exact career path. You haven't planned your entire future. It can feel like you're behind those who seem sure. Psychologists know that intolerance of uncertainty fuels anxiety. The more your brain demands guarantees, the more threatened it feels by real life, which offers none. Ancient wisdom reframes uncertainty from a problem to a path. You are not lost when you don't have the whole map. You are just at the edge of what you've known so far. Relief comes when you stop treating uncertainty as proof that something is wrong with you and start seeing it as proof that you are still in motion. Lesson 9. Your attention is your most sacred possession. From meditation traditions, contemplative prayer, monastic rules. Ancient practices all agree on one thing: what you repeatedly pay attention to, you become. Monks, mystics, philosophers all created rules around where attention should and should not go. Modern technology is built on capturing and reselling attention. Your tired mind is constantly being pulled outward to notifications, headlines, opinions, metrics. The result is attentional fatigue. Your brain feels scattered, thin, incapable of deep focus or rest. Psychology confirms this. Divided attention increases stress and decreases satisfaction. Yet we keep scattering ourselves. Ancient wisdom suggests something radical. Guard your attention like you would guard your home. Not everything deserves to live in your mind. Relief comes when you realize you're not weak for feeling drained. A constantly interrupted mind will always feel tired. You're not failing at life. Your attention has been hijacked. Lesson 10. A gentle life is not a wasted life. From monastic traditions, simple living philosophies, and indigenous teachings. Many ancient paths praised a quieter life, tending a garden, caring for a family, doing ordinary work with care. No big audience, no endless metrics. Today, a good life is often equated with scale. Big impact, big following, big income, big story. If your life feels small, your brain may label it as insignificant. But humans are wired for meaning, not spectacle. Research on well-being continually points back to the same things: close relationships, contribution to a small community, feeling useful, moments of presence. These don't look impressive online, but they register deeply in the nervous system. Ancient wisdom reminds you a life can be gentle and still be full. You do not need to be extraordinary to be enough. The relief here is this: you are allowed to want a kinder pace, a smaller circle, a softer story. That is not giving up. That is choosing a nervous system you can actually live inside. If you've made it this far, your mind might feel a little different, not fixed, not suddenly energized, just slightly less alone. You're not the first human to feel behind, or overwhelmed, or quietly ashamed of how tired you are. For thousands of years, people have been sitting with the same questions, the same fears, the same invisible clock ticking in their heads. These ancient lessons don't solve everything, but they do something important. They interrupt the harsh story that says, it's just you, and it's all your fault. It isn't. I'd like to know, which lesson landed the deepest for you? Which one felt like something you didn't realize you were waiting to hear? Tell me in the comments, not as a performance, not as a productivity update, just as a human note from your life. And if you think more people need a quieter place like this, to feel a little less behind, a little less alone, consider liking this video and subscribing. It helps these conversations reach the people whose minds are tired in exactly the way yours is. For now, you don't have to fix your whole life. You don't have to outrun anyone. You're allowed to just sit here, breathe, and let this be true. You are not late. You are not broken. You are simply human, in a very difficult time, doing your best to remember how to be alive. Take care and see you next time.